Whoa, excellent! What's up, all you radical dudes and dudettes? Toys here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another fresh look, and today it comes courtesy of my friends over at Incendium Toys. We're checking out their brand new Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure retro throwback action figures. You got Bill S. Preston Esquire, and of course the one and only Ted Theodore Logan, Alex Winters, and Keanu Reeves, respectively. And if you didn't know, these are kind of, sort of, maybe kind of, sort of based on the old-fashioned Kenner Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure action figures. Quite an intriguing toy line back in the day. You should totally check those out. They're pretty awesome. You got really nice card art. I'm going to give this to them wholeheartedly. I love the colors. I love the energy. You got really nice bios for both of the characters if you want to go ahead and screen grab them. I'm digging the artwork. It's just very Bill and Ted. A lot of excitement going on, a lot of rock and roll, and that's what you want to see. Myths, Monsters, Metal, Incendium Toys. Go check them out. I'll have the link description below if you want to go ahead and order yourself a set of these. And I like the cross sells on either side of the cards. Also available now. That's just very old school Kenner Toy Biz. What they're really going for. And again, the card art itself. I'm saving the cards once I get them off the packaging because I love it. So sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. Just the most excellent cup of coffee. This is the brand new Incendium Toys Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan, the Wild Stallions themselves, from their brand new Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure action figure line. And boom, here they are out of the packaging. And I gotta say, after waiting so long to finally check these out, I'm actually really excited. These are fun action figures, and just a word of wisdom to those of you who are really into articulation and all that right off the bat, probably not going to be for you. But for those that have enjoyed more simplistic time, then these are definitely going to be the action figures. Most definitely love the accessories, the weapons for these guys. Very exciting. Love that they come with their guitars, and they get a little accessory here and there, like a boombox or an old-fashioned VHS video camera recorder. I love that. This is very 80s. This is a total 80s package, and I'm excited. I will point out, though, there are a couple hiccups here and there, but let's start with Bill S. Esquire. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. This doesn't really look too much like Alex Winters, all right? He looks more like a cartoon version of Bill, which is totally fine, but then it kind of represents the whole retro feel of everything. The one thing I will hit them for sticklers on is that the paint is a little bit muddled here and there. It's okay. It's not the best, but for what I'm seeing, it's like a little bit of a slop. Could be cleaned up just a bit here and there. But again, the decals are applied nicely. The paint for the shirts, for the actual graphics, does look good. It's where you get in the little minute details is where you start to see the hiccups. I really love the guitars. The paint is a little bit just off, just the tiniest bit in certain areas, but it is really well rendered, well sculpted. I'm digging this a whole lot. When you pull it back, you don't really see it up close. There's a little hiccups here and there, and on the back side, not much going on, but I do really like the way they did the guitars. But he does come with this gorgeous VHS recorder. I love this. Not much paint except for a little blue swirl on the tip of the lens, but everything else is rendered beautifully. Totally throws, I remember operating one of these. That was the big thing to do. I remember video production class. Come on, who doesn't remember that? The one thing I will say, with the extra hand, this is where the paint kind of gets kind of sloppy, kind of muddled. He doesn't look like he's holding a guitar pick. It kind of looks like he cut his finger. It just looks like a blotch right there. So that's unfortunate. Not really digging that all too much. Switch the hands, kind of just tug right there on the wrist, and you can swap out one of two hands. Either the pick hand or you can do the camera holding hand. And when he does actually hold the guitar, we'll just say, you simply just pop off the strap on either side. You can do it either which way. Strap it onto his back, and it looks like he's holding his guitar. Kinda. Bill kind of suffers from the unfortunateness of the lack of articulation. The pick hand looks better with it, but the other hand, when holding, the bass or the tip of the guitar and everything else, you're not going to be able to get it to look naturally, and that's unfortunate. You can fuss with it here and there. You can probably make it work if you want, but it's just a naturalistic, just putting it on. It's better to kind of sling it over his back. That looks really nice, and then Unfortunately, it kind of goes the same way with the video camera. There's no real way to kind of make it look natural with the eyepiece and in his hand. It's the lack of articulation that hinders it in holding it properly, holding it naturally. But when you put the guitar around his back, you want him holding it just mid-hand, something like that, then he does look like a really nice action figure. It's just in doing the things that you want to do with the guitar, and unfortunately with the video camera, that's where the figure kind of hinders a little bit. But in all honesty, I do like this Bill figure. It's a lot of fun. With the Keanu Reeves, with Ted Theodore Logan, this figure fares a bit better, and I'll show you in just a second how it kind of messes better with the accessories. He's got a little bit too much lipstick on, but that's Keanu Reeves, right? That is old school, young Keanu Reeves, giving that whole, whoa, you know, kind of smile. That's pretty cool. I like the graphics on his shirt, very much just straight out of the movie. The smiley face, the save the humans, everything is well applied. I'm totally digging that. And again, like I said, the accessories are sculpted nice. The guitar looks great. Ted himself, he suffers a little bit from the paint that Bill kind of had, even though I said Ted kind of fares a little bit better. But from mostly every angle, this is Ted Theodore Logan, and he's in that 5-inch scale, very much old school Kenner Toy Biz. And I dig it. I like the paint rub on the jacket. It actually looks like it's like a dirty, worn jacket that Ted would have. The boombox, excellently sculpted. Love it. Minute paint here and there, but for the most part, the paint looks great. And it's fun. It's a simplistic boombox, but it works. You know exactly what it is. No moving parts on it. The handle doesn't go down or anything. But I love the buttons. I love the throwback. It's like the video camera. It's awesome. He fares much better with the pick holding hand. There actually looks like there's a sculpted pick as opposed to a blotch. You totally know what it is, especially when you put it up against the guitar. The flesh color looks good, so he totally fares better in that realm as well. The guitar, same thing as the red one. Looks great, painted well. Ted's kind of has some yellow droplets here and there, unfortunately, but everything looks wild on it. Some of the creases here and there with the white paint does kind of fold into the yellow, unfortunately, but it's got the same type of strap. You can pop it off on either side. The back of the guitar actually has a little bit more sculpting to it, so that's another difference between his and Bill's, unfortunately. But when you finally get the figure going with the guitar, and this is what I was talking about, he holds it beautifully. This is Ted Theodore Logan rocking out Wild Stallions. He's perfect. This is great. This is what I want to say. I don't need any more posing out of this figure, so that's why I'm a little bit more lenient when it comes to the articulation. Yes, I really wish that Bill would have fared a little bit better, but Ted nails it. He can hold the boombox. You can put the guitar on his back. It's just Ted, man. He's just having a ball, doing nothing, partying on, and I love it. This is a great looking figure. Again, he fares better with the articulation, the limited articulation, I will say, the paint. But when you have these two together, it's a lot of fun. It takes you back to Bill and Ted. There's not a whole heck of a lot of Bill and Ted figures out there, but I'm really happy that they're in the 5-inch scale, but let's check out how they exactly move. Now, to go over the articulation, one thing I want to point out just before we start is that there are peg holes on the bottom of the feet for the figures. And the one thing, though, is that it does come with these FigBiz stands, but when you go to put the stand in the feet, the peg is entirely too big for the holes, and that goes on either figure. So luckily these do stand really well on their own, but it is unfortunate that you can't use the stand more for stability. In terms of holding their weapons, I like to kind of just keep the hand. One thing you'll see though is that the hands actually, they come out a little bit easy, and instead of a rotation of the hand, you have to pull the hand out to get it this way, get it that way. So that's kind of a bummer, is that there's no rotation in the actual hands themselves. You can, of course, use the pick hand, swap it out, whatever you want to do. In terms of getting the guitar strap off, it just kind of simply pops off, so it's there. The articulation on these are a bit different for each figure. You can get, of course, Keanu Reeves to rotate. You can't really get much in terms of looking up or looking back. That's the one thing, just because of his hair. It actually works better on Bill, but the articulation is at the shoulders. You can go down about that much you can see that, unfortunately, yeah, the paint gets kind of chewed up here and there. It's not in the more stationary pose, but if you were, yeah, you just kind of have to keep an eye out for that. That's unfortunate. He does have single jointed elbows, and they will spin right there. No rotation at this hand, unfortunately, and the hands do not come out, and the paint just kind of gets a little sloppy right there. I do like, for the most part, the graphics on the actual figure, the shirt, the pants especially, save the humans, of course, but he's got a really nice wash on the back of the sweatshirt, gives it kind of a dirty look. When you go to put the feet up, it goes at a side. It does not just go up and down. Won't go back at all. He does have single jointed knees. Of course, it get kind of muddled right there, and he has nothing in terms of ankle or there's nothing below the knee. On Bill, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. In order to switch out the hands, you simply just pull that out. That one doesn't really stay all too well. Just a couple loose joints here and there on Bill, actually. And then again, if you want to, well, see, that's the difference, is that if you want to switch the hands or rotate them, then you can do it on Ted. On this one, it's just a one-way in, one-way out sort of deal. Yeah, there's no switching up the hand on that part. Same thing with the guitar. You simply just undo the strap, pull it right off. He does have a bit of a wider range of looking around, but you got to see the gappage right there on the head. I like that he looks up a lot, and I like that he looks down. He looks a lot better than the Ted figure, and of course side to side. Same thing, joints wise in the shoulders, goes up and down. Gets a little hindered by his jacket, and of course he'll spin at the elbows, single jointed elbows, and no rotation, nothing here, unfortunately. He does have a waist. He will swivel there. He'll kick off to the side, but I've been getting some paint rub right there, unfortunately. I like the graphics. The graphics are applied nicely, I'll give him that. And again, pointing it out, the guitar pick in his hand just kind of looks like he cut himself. It doesn't really stand out as much as, let's say, Ted's right here. He actually looks like he's holding the pick. This one just looks like a blotch, and he has double jointed knees, but unfortunately, there's not much to do with them in that sense, if it's only going to go up to about that much and kind of go back that much, and then he has nothing below that, no rotation, no ankle, nothing like that. So I would say, in all honesty, if you're a big stickler for articulation, these are probably not going to be the figures for you. However, if you like Bill and Ted, or you just like old-fashioned Kenner Toy Biz fun, these are actually pretty cool figures, and let's look at some of the photographs. But I have to make it known that while I do like the simplicity of the figures, while I do like that they're very reminiscent of Kenner and Toy Biz and a simplistic action figure time way, way long ago, they do look really nice with other 5-inch scaled figures. They're going to go well with the Gold Ghostbusters. They're going to go well with, Spider-Man, the animated series. It's just that the articulation is just not there for what you would preferably like to see, including even like getting them into this classic style pose. You can kind of sort of achieve it, but it's not going to be that naturalistic look that I think a lot of people are looking for. Another big problem I have is the paint on these guys. The paint does tend to rub a lot, especially on the pants around the crotch of Bill, but it's something that is not, it's not a very good thing for the price that you are going to have to pay for these. The figures are well designed, they look good, but when you get the final product, the hands, the articulation, the paint, it's just not up to snuff, unfortunately. I do like these figures, but I can't honestly say that I recommend them. If you are a big fan of this type of property, Bill and Ted, if you like the old 5-inch style action figures, then you're definitely going to like them, but you're going to have to deal with some of the paint rub and a lot of the limits of the articulation. Now, I don't really mind the articulation, but I know that in some instances, it's very much necessary to put them in those classic poses, even when holding the video camera or when holding the guitar, just in that sense. So it's completely in your realm. If you can deal with those problems, then these are cool figures, but I can't honestly recommend them just because of the way the final products did come out. I don't mind the face sculpts. I think they're fun. I think they're very much in that cartoony Bill and Ted realm. If you want the more dead-on, spot-on likeness, NECA Toys has some Bill and Ted. They're going to be re-releasing them as well. And they'll also be doing cartoon, like from the actual Bill and Ted animated series. They'll have those. But these are in a very fun 5-inch realm, and it's almost as if that they came out during that heyday of Toy Biz or Kenner. And with the Kenner ones, though, they did achieve the more functionality, the more play feature aspect of toys, whereas the Incendium ones, they look good on the shelf. You put them, you stand them there, you look at them from far away, but it's not until you look at them up close, you really start to play with them, that you see the unfortunate aspects that is going to throw a lot of people off. I want to say thank you to Incendium Toys for sending these over. I had a blast giving this fresh look, and I hope that you guys see exactly what I'm talking about. It may not be for everyone, but there are going to be a lot of people out there that definitely dig these. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, be excellent to one another, and when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.